This chapter was written very well and depicted very well as it flowed, and it was over before I know it. The beginning was a little bit slow, I guess you would say, but the end more than made up for it.
One Piece, chapter 483, The End of the Dream.
Oh man, this is getting exciting now. Well, hello my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, and I'm here to bring you another review on the awesome and excellently woven and marvelously told and realized tale that is One Piece. Now, our last chapter saw us at the end after Luffy just kind of going to the limit again and again, and just taking it to that next level. We saw him literally just pummel the Thousand Shadows out of Moria, and it looked like at the end Moria was just knocked out and had released the shadows. However, the last panel was very disturbing because we saw Robin and Sanji and Zoro all standing pretty much shoulder to shoulder and the tops of their heads disintegrating in the sunlight, right? So as they left us hanging on that, and that's where we left off, we pick up right over there and we actually wind up seeing other spots on the Grand Line, parts of the West Blue, different pirate crews and things like that, their shadows were stolen from them over the years from Moria, some as much as 10 years ago. We actually see the character, her name is Margarita, that her shadow was stolen and put into the body of Sindri, the woman who liked to throw the plates. And it's just kind of neat to see all that wrapped up. But as we see 2 or 3 pages of this, we're thinking, but what about our guys? What about the Straw Hats? I don't give a fuck about this guy in the West Blue. And then we wind up seeing, and you can breathe a sigh of relief and you can take in that fresh air and realize that everything's okay. Even though they were completely gone from pretty much the head, from about the head up over there, which is pretty important, and they were kind of disintegrating in the sunlight. Luffy beating Moria did release the shadows. It just took a little bit of time for them to actually get back and attach themselves to it. So it was neat seeing everybody in peril, in jeopardy, and then of course seeing them right at that last moment be pulled back and everybody's fine, right? And the same thing too goes for all the other shadows and all the other hapless victims of Moria over the years. So all of a sudden, all the zombies and the kind of weird, crusty, nasty creations of this crazy place wind up disappearing. And it really is. It looks and feels like a whole different place. The entire mast, though, which was like part of the castle, is like laying on its side, and just everything is completely foobarred, fucked up beyond all recognition. For those of you that don't know the acronym, and really it is. Everything is just Thriller Bark is torn apart. Nobody knows where Luffy is right then. They assume he shrunk back down or whatever after going into super huge Luffy. They talk about obviously when he gears up, the toll it takes on his body, and Chopper, Usopp especially, they're worried about him because they know that if they encounter an even stronger enemy down the line, Luffy's going to go and take it to the limit again, and he's going to push it past the limit. It's eventually going to wind up killing himself. But Luffy's mentality is as long as it's in the service of his friends and committing to and completing his goal, then it's worthwhile. So may we all be that steadfast in our determination and our goals and our purposes in life. Anyway, so in the aftermath of everything that's sitting around and everybody kind of sitting around and talking, we wind up getting a little bit of banter with that funny old man that everybody thinks is a zombie, but he's actually just an old man with severe injuries, kind of thanking them and this and that, and they're talking about the Thriller Bark so-and-so Moria, Gecko Moria Victims Club or whatever, and they'd like to thank him and blah blah, and Zoro's basically just like, you can save your thanks, we did it for our own reasons, And they're like, well, no, but you don't understand, we want to thank you properly and blah, 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 and show our gratitude. And then Nami winds up slapping him. She's like, let them show their gratitude, because of course she wants to get something monetarily out of it, Nami, always thinking dollar signs. So, my cute little money whore. But anyway, so then we wind up going and seeing all of a sudden it strikes Nami, and she's like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot to tell you guys. One of the other 7 warlords is actually on this island as well, Kuma, And as she goes and tells them, she points up at him and sees him, and he's actually giving a report into one of the snail phones, right? The Den Mushi, I think. And he's given a report back to headquarters about what's happened. And they're like, well, is he alive? And this and that. He's like, I don't know. And what headquarters basically says is, listen, we don't want to have to worry about replacing another warlord. So we'd rather just let him recover, give us a report and this and that. However, they go on to go and say, and to wrap this all up real quick, is that they go on to say, we need there to be no witnesses as to what happened. So that's how things wind up ending off, is of course him just going and finding out about this and getting the, winding up getting this order from headquarters to just wipe everybody out. Nami tries to warn them that he has some kind of power that makes people disappear. Zoro says, I'll take him out, because Luffy, of course, is unconscious and not around. And really, this guy winds up disappearing, reappearing, taking out a bunch of dudes, and then at the end of the chapter, he's like, I'll start with you, Pirate Hunter Zoro. And that's how things leave off, man. So, oh my god, I can't wait to get to the next one. My chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is ultimately, what are your thoughts on the world government and pretty much wanting to cover up this incident to save face because their warlords are dropping left and right? First Crocodile, now, of course, Moria, and sending Kuma on this errand. And Kuma's like, easy enough. Simple enough. Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation.
Remember to follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and check out my other channels, and thanks for watching.